Hey guys, I'm Lauren, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would film something a little bit more fun because the weather outside is literally miserable in England. It's raining outside. So I'm going to do something a little bit more colourful today. I'm going to get right into it and start because otherwise I'll probably film another 40-minute long makeup tutorial and that's not what we want. You probably get so bored after 5 minutes and I'm still going and going and going, so I'm just going to get right into it today. So guys, I'm going to start by taking a Peaches and Cream PC51 brush to carve out my eye area, and I'm using the P.LOUISE base. I've mixed number, I think 2 and 3 together. One's a bit light, one's a bit dark, so I've mixed the two together. So I'm just carving out my eyebrows underneath and then patting the product in. And within about 60 seconds of patting it should sort of dry down. I would suggest taking a small amount and building it up rather than putting loads on. It gives you a much more flawless base. And it's not the end of the world if you want to use a lighter base, because if you want the orange that we're going to use to stand out a lot, the lighter base makes the colour pop a little bit more. So I'm going to go into my Tarte Pro palette and I'm going to pick the top shade Classic, which is just this light shade here in the corner, if you can see. And we're going to put this on the eyelid. And this is just more to set the base that we've put down. Honestly guys, I can't believe the weather today is so miserable. So I'm just doing this because obviously the orange is very bright and we don't want any lines, we want it to look really seamless, so we're just patting this in. It's very similar to the colour that I've already got on my eye, so it's not meant to show up much of a colour, it's just meant to kind of just set the eye area. So I'm going to use two pigments today by OPV Beauty. These are both orange. I will list them in the description below. I'm going to start off by taking 003, which is slightly darker for the crease. And I'm going to be using a Smith brush. This is a 230. These are amazing. Absolutely amazing. And we're just going to pat this into the crease. So you want to follow the shape of the eye. I don't want anything too blown out because we're going to do a nice winged liner with this look as well. And you can keep going in and putting some more colour on to build it up because we want it nice and bright. And when you're happy with that, we're going to take the MAC brush that I used. This was a 224. This is one of my favourite makeup brushes ever. If you don't have this brush, you need to go and buy it. I'm going to take a little bit of the product on the brush and pat it off my hand so there's not much left over, and we're just going to start to blend it a little bit further up. And diffuse the colour. Then we're going to go back in, same brush, Smith, and just build the colour more into the crease. Sometimes when you blend out you lose the colour a little bit. I'm feeling this guys, like proper sunset vibes. It's sad though, because I feel like this is a proper festival look and there's no festivals on. With everything that's going on, it's killed my mood. I literally love a festival, so I'm gutted that I'm not probably going to go to any this year. Again, going to take the MAC brush, we don't want any product on it, and just slightly diffuse the product. Then we're going to take this orange, which is a lighter shade, for the main part of this lid. I'm just going to pat a tiny bit of the leftover P.LOUISE that I had back onto the lid and blend it out with my finger like this. And I'm just going to pat this on. But I'm pushing pretty hard so the pigment sort of sticks. Nice and bright. I'm just going to do the other eye and I'll be back. So guys, I'm back. I'm going to use some glitter glue from Makeup Revolution and I'm just going to pop this to my finger, like so. Not my finger, on my hand. And I'm going to pat the product into my hand and just take a bit of my finger. I'm just going to go over the lid and push this in. Not too high up, just into the crease, because the pigment is a little bit dry, so I feel like it will stick a lot better if we put some of this on. And I'm going to go back in with this brush. This was the PC30, and I'm going to pick up the lighter orange shade. I'm just going to pat this on. So guys, I'm just going to take a makeup wipe and I'm going to do what I've done on this side, and we're just going to have a nice straight clean line and we're going to follow it onto where your temple is as a guide for both sides. They're going to go in with a MAC Liquidlast 24-hour waterproof eyeliner. It's going to be hard to do on cam, guys. But I will try my best. I'm going to go in with a wipe again and I'm just going to follow the line of my eyeliner. I'm going to go onto the brow bone and I'm going to use my Illamasqua Beyond powder. I think this is in the shade Wow, but it's rubbed off. And I'm just going to pat it here. And then I'm going to go back in with my MAC brush from earlier and I'm just going to blend. So I'm going to take my Blackout by Urban Decay. This is just a black matte eyeshadow, and I'm just going to go over where I've put the liquid liner down. So today I'm going to be using the Dose of Colours foundation, and this is in the shade 119 Light Medium. And I'm using a PC06 Peaches and Cream brush. I love how pink these brushes are. This is so nice for applying foundation. The shape just makes it super easy. I've bought so many new foundations recently, guys. Like, I've repurchased some other foundations that I really like, and I've bought loads of new ones to try, just because I've just got the same few foundations that I've always loved, and I've not really found anything better. And I always like to try new things, but I feel like I always end up going back to the same ones. So if you guys have any suggestions of foundations that I may not have tried, maybe that you want to see, actually, that would be great. I realised in my last video I was so heavy-handed. I was like basically whacking my face, but I really like to proper press the product into my face. I really like the feel of this foundation. It feels very like almost gel-like, but full coverage and really nice to blend. And it looks kind of wet and dewy. I feel like this is a good match. I hate buying foundations online because I always get it wrong and I end up with a shade way too dark or way too light. I'm honestly the worst. So after I've done that with the brush, I always go back in with my beauty blender. I don't feel like I'll ever not be obsessed with beauty blenders. Well, these are the Real Techniques ones, and I love these because I feel like they're better than the beauty blenders actually, and a lot cheaper. So I'm going to go in. I promise I'm not as rough as it looks on camera. Last video I was like, wow, you're really almost hitting yourself there, Loz. And I like to take quite a lot of time to blend the foundation in, to be honest. I feel like it's really important to give you a nice base, to take your time and just to keep blending it in. Also, thank you so much to everybody who gave my last video a thumbs up. So if you watched my first makeup tutorial and you gave it a thumbs up or you commented, I literally am so happy to be obviously doing YouTube again, and it was just so nice to see so many nice comments from you guys. Really makes my day. So then I'm going to go in with the Tarte Shape Tape. Actually, I'm not. I'm going to go in with the Nars concealer in medium to ginger. This is basically the same colour as my foundation. Don't know why, but this one feels so dry. I've just got it. And it feels really dry, like there's no product in it, but it's brand new. Nars. I'm going to take this my Kitco 0.2 brush, and I'm just going to blend this. And then I'm going to take a beauty blender, a different one, and blend the concealer out. And I always take the excess like into the middle of my forehead, to my brows, and just on the chin area here. Then I'm going to take a tiny bit of Tarte Shape Tape in light sand. Got 2 little dots. A little Morphe brush that I used in my last video. I don't know what number this is, guys, because it's rubbed off, but I just like to blend this out. Just for a bit more brightness, and then when we put the orange on as well, it will help the orange pop a little bit more because the colour's a little bit lighter. Just go back in with your beauty blender. So next, to set the under eye, I'm going to use the Mercier translucent setting powder. This stuff is unreal. And a Real Techniques brush. And just lightly dab over where you put the concealer. I also like to take it obviously because I've put concealer on my forehead and around my brows, I like to take it onto there as well. This is such a nice setting powder. It's one of my faves. Also, I like to put this around the nose, smile lines, underneath my lips. And I just use a little bit and I just keep going back in to build it up rather than just putting loads on your face. I like to go down these bits too. So next I'm going to use Anastasia Beverly Hills Bronzer in Saddle. Don't know why I'm holding it up here. So I like to just go around my hairline like this, very light-handed, and onto my neck. So I really like to bronze my neck as well so that everything matches colour wise, and my ears, my little pink ears. I like to bronze up the end of my nose. I just basically like to bronze everywhere, to be honest. But I like to keep most of the bronzer around my forehead and obviously on my cheekbones for a little bit of a contoured look. And then I'm going to go in with the brush that I used earlier, which was this big fluffy brush, and with some of the leftover pigment that was on it, I'm just going to go underneath my waterline. And then I'm going to go in with this Peaches and Cream PC47. Take a bit more of the pigment. It's hard to stop yourself from going blind with this, guys. Like if you get a bit of pigment in your eye, it's game over. So we're just building it up so it gets brighter. It looks so odd at the minute because I've not got any eyelashes on, but I promise you it will come together. I'm going to go back in with this brush and just blend a little bit. So I'm going to put on the Tatti lashes in TL3. So I'm going to put a bit of Morphe Lights Out black eyeliner on my waterline, and then we're going to go in with the Benefit They're Real mascara. And I'm going to use an Illamasqua brow pencil, brow brush, and Illamasqua Strike Precision Brow Gel, if I can say it. I can never bloody say it. And I'm just going to carve out my eyebrows. I put most of the pressure on the ends of my brows, and then when I come closer to the front, I don't want them to be as dark, so I use a much lighter hand. So I'm going to take the Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Brow Gel. This stuff is fab. And I'm just gonna brush through my lashes, not my lashes, brows. What am I saying, lashes? Brush through my brows. And we do this very lightly. Can't speak today, I can't speak again. We're going to do this very lightly because we don't want to move the gel that we've just put down and like make it go all manky basically. And then we're going to do the same to the other one. If you like them like this, leave them like this. I'm just loving a bit of a messy brow at the minute, to be honest. Then I'm going to take my lip balm off because it looks ridiculous for one. I'm going to pat over my lips. And I'm going to spray some of my MAC Fix Plus in Rose. You can use any Fix Plus or any spray pretty much, setting spray of any sort. And this is a PC17 Peaches and Cream brush. And I'm going to go back in with the same Illamasqua Beyond Powder. Love this highlighter, it's absolutely insane. And I'm just going to... pat. And I like to take it a little bit onto my temple as well. You can just hear Ali playing on the bloody PlayStation of Call of Duty. Has anybody else's boyfriend been playing Call of Duty non-stop since lockdown and screaming at the TV? Because mine has. It was driving me mad. So I got my nose here, middle of my forehead. Some of you might like to do above your brows, but I don't really like that personally. It's preference, I guess. I feel like I've barely spoken in this video when I was meant to because I've been concentrating so bloody hard on my makeup. I'm going to put the tiniest bit of blush on, I think, guys, but not too much because obviously this is a really bright look and I don't want to look like a clown. So I'm going to use this is EX1, it's rubbed off. I've had this for years and I love it. What shade is it? It's called Love Story, if any of you are wondering. It's a really nice dark blush. And I'm going to use the same Molly O'Brien MO16. And I'm just going to, this is really pigmented, so what I like to do is I like to get the lid and just swirl it around just so I don't pick up too much product. And I'm just going to lightly, I like to take it on top of my bronzer and a little bit up onto the cheek like here. I feel like everybody likes their blusher really different. So up onto the cheek and just a little bit on top of my bronzer. And this is the perfect colour. I don't always do the same placement, it just depends on what colour blusher I have, but this one's quite like, it's quite subtle, so it blends in really well with your bronzer. And a little bit at the end of my nose and just where you would get sunburn basically. So if you're me, like literally everywhere. I'm going to use my Morphe make bloody great lip pencils, guys. Honestly, £4.50, absolute bargain. This is Coffee and Kissy. If you're looking for something that's as good as MAC but a third of the price, I could not recommend Morphe lip liners enough. They are insane. And the worst thing ever that happens is when you go on a night out and you go to get your lip liner like the next day after you've been out and you've lost it. And £4.50 is not the end of the world, but when you spent £15 on a lip liner, so then I'm going to put the Huda Beauty Liquid Lip in Crush. They're so weird, they're amazing, but they're all really different formulas. Like this one is so liquidy. So I like to do this, let it kind of dry down for like a second. And use the same Morphe brush. I've got two of these, by the way. See what I mean by liquidy? It's mad. brush shrunk? It's the wrong bloody brush, that's why. I feel like these two work really nicely together. And I don't want too dark of a lip just because I don't want it to look too wild, to be honest, guys. So I'm going to go in with Cork by MAC, and this is just a lot darker brown, but I'm going to go really lightly over the edges, nothing too wild. Oh, goodness, I need someone to tread on my back after that. I feel gribbled. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I really enjoyed filming this. It was a bit fun, to be honest. I feel like a tropical sunset, so I'm loving it. But when we actually are allowed to go to festivals again, this is a great idea for that, because it's a bit funky, a little bit different. But yeah, if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. I'm assuming if you've got this far, you did like it, so definitely give it a thumbs up. And I will see you next time for another lovely video. Bye guys.